This is how you get out of social isolation and start meeting girls. At 19, my family moved from New York to Florida, and I knew absolutely no one there, and this scared the shit out of me, and I went into social isolation for 6 months. This was one of the worst times of my life. I didn't talk to anybody. I started to get depressed, and after feeling absolutely sick of this, I forced myself to go out, and that night I ended up meeting a girl who went on to be my girlfriend. And a lot of you guys know the story that ended up in a heartbreak, and then I had my transformation. And throughout this journey over the last 3 years after having the transformation, there's been times where I've been trying to focus on a skill like sales or start a new business or whatever it was. And I have done monk modes throughout this phase where I've been good with girls. And those have been the lowest points of my life every single time. It is always the worst thing, no matter what happens good from it. There's so many things that were massive drawbacks from not being social. There are three key areas that you need in life, I believe, to feel good. It is health, wealth, and social relationships. You need all three of those. If you're missing one of them, it is going to be a massive detriment from your life. Right now, for the last 4 months, I've had all of those, and my life is exponentially better. I cannot describe how impactful it is when you have all three areas dialed in. Your health is locked in, you have money, and you have relationships with masculine friends and with girls. They're both so important. So, let me break down in this video all the steps that you need in order to get out of social isolation and start making girls. And one key thing that you need for all of this is confidence. So for that reason, I built you guys a confidence transformation guide, teaching you every single step that I took to be the confident man that I am today. Without this, I couldn't solo travel to countries by myself, go to a new city and just start meeting girls, making friends. It is all requiring confidence. So for that reason, that's why I made you guys this guide. You can grab that. It's completely for free. It's the first link in the description below. Okay, so the first step is you need to commit to socializing 2 to 3 times per week. This can be anything, really. It doesn't matter. I'm going to run you through a bunch of different examples. Hopefully you can get some ideas of what you can do yourself. So when I was in Florida this past year, there was this thing called Pitch a Friend. It was this new thing that came around. Someone showed it to me and they said, you should come by. So I said, sure. It's basically where two people will go up and present. One person will be in a pitch to the crowd as a potential partner, and the friend gets to make a funny presentation and they get to, show them off in the best light. And then everyone in the crowd can decide if they want to talk to that person. And while you're there, they do really cool games it's like a meet cute bingo, one of the things. So you go around and you find people who have the matching thing. It's like has a pet or works from home or a bunch of different things. And then you got to match those. And people have red and green bracelets that they give out, so you know who is open to talking and who is closed and has a relationship and is just there supporting a friend. And it's really easy just to talk to people. Everyone is there for a reason. They want to meet people. So that's just one thing I did in Florida to stay social, even though I actually kind of leaned more towards the social isolation for a good part of my stay in Florida. And I eventually snapped out of it and was like, this is not making me any better. And I went back to socializing. Although I was really focusing on the business, once again, it didn't take away from my life at all when I started going out into nightlife, things like that. And that's another one that I want to go into is nightlife. It's on the weekend. I mean, if you can't go at least one day, there's no way you're so busy you can't even go to nightlife one day on the weekend. And think about how many people you can potentially meet, how many girls, how many cool guys are going to be out that you can maybe go to the gym with if they're fit. You talk to them about the gym, little things like that. You can develop so many connections in nightlife. And I'm a huge proponent of nightlife. So I'll go to nightlife once or most of the time twice a week, at least once, unless I have dates on the days that Friday, Saturday, then I'll skip it. But besides that, I'm always out in nightlife. There's so many other things, even if it's just the gym, but if you go to the gym with the intention of talking to any attractive girl you see or any cool guy who you'd want to maybe be friends with, work out with, things like that. And for guys, it's as simple as giving them a compliment. If you compliment them on their physique, if you make it genuine and you're like, excuse me, bro, you have an amazing physique. I hope to be like you one day. They're going to talk to you. It's not going to be that hard to make friendships with guys if you're giving people compliments, especially dudes on the thing that they've been working so hard on, like their physique. They're going to appreciate that. It's going to be so easy to start talking to them on a regular basis, hit a little lift with them, get them to spot you, you spot them, little things, and you develop a friendship from there. But this key to getting out of social isolation is to really talk to everybody. One thing I want to make clear is social skills is going to be a massive part of you being able to get girls. And if you're socializing with a lot of people, you're going to get better at social skills as a whole. I know, crazy concept. But when you're not socializing at all, it's going to be really intimidating and scary for you to talk to a girl. Let me give you one quick example. One time when I started my sales academy business, I'd actually been in social isolation pretty much, like only a couple times did I go out in Florida. And then I went to New York to start my other business. This prior business in Florida, I failed completely. I went to New York, started the sales academy business for 2.5 months, was locked in, was making a bunch of money, but I didn't socialize. And then when I went to Sweden with my boy and we went to a festival right off the bat, landed and went straight to a festival, I had anxiety. There was tens of thousands of people here. And I was like, holy shit, I haven't socialized in so long. I had social anxiety, so I could barely eat. I was drinking, but that, I was able to manage a bit, but I still took the steps no matter what. I was still out there. I was still chatting with girls. Ended up going home with one. But either way, I had the anxiety, but I had to push through it because I hadn't been socializing. Whereas now, when I go out to new cities by myself all the time. It's not scary because I'm socializing constantly. I'm always talking to people. It's not a new thing for me. Even if I've done it before, if I don't do it for a long time, it's going to be intimidating when I put myself back into that environment. So you really want to be socializing all of the time. Committing to 2 to 3 things that you can do per week is going to change your life. And now the next thing that you need to do is you need to push your comfort zone and actually talk to people. I know this was kind of in the point before, but we need to mention this because I'll give you a great example. I was at the Pitch a Friend talking to the girls that I found attractive. And when I first got there, I just sat at a table with some dudes, introduced myself to them, and they sat there the entire time. They came to this Pitch a Friend to just basically be a observer of everyone else. I was like, yo guys, you gonna talk to anybody? You're like, I don't know, I'm not feeling it. And I was like, I'll give you some fucking warm intros. Just let me know. I'll hook you up with an intro. Point to who you like. I'll talk to them for you. I'll introduce you, whatever you want, man. I'll be that guy for you. They were like, nah, I'm chilling on this bench here. I'm just being a little bitch. So I was just like, I will never hang out with those dudes. They won't even fucking talk to a girl when they came to Pitch a Friend where it's easy as fuck. Never in 1,000 years would I be friends with them. So that's another thing too, is people can see into your mindset. I will not be friends with someone who will not talk to a girl. I know it sounds harsh, but I just won't. I will not allow that sort of mindset and that negative and fear-based mindset around me. So you need to be about it. You need to be talking to girls. You need to be pushing your comfort zone. It's more about seeing the individual, seeing that they have courage, seeing that they are savage. Those are the people that I want to surround myself with because they're going to make me grow. But I digress. Back to the point. You need to push your comfort zone when you are out and you need to talk to new people. Otherwise, you're never going to meet anybody. So that's been one thing that I will give myself kudos is whenever I go places, I'm always talking to new people. I'm always pushing my comfort zone. And this is why when I go to new cities, like this one to the north from the one I'm in currently, an hour to the north, I started going last year around August consistently. And I went for 2 or 3 months. And then I went back to Florida, came back this year. I've been going for about another 2 months-ish. And now I know so many people. It's hard for me not to bump into people that I know or see girls that I've slept with. It just gets to too much. I got to find a new city now once again. But that's because I push my comfort zone so much and I'm talking to everybody. But this is something that you have to do if you want to get out of this social isolation and start meeting girls. Is push your comfort zone. Talk to new girls. Make friends with guys. They know girls. They'll introduce you. It all kind of ties in together. And lastly is to be open to new things. So when I was in Norway, I met this group when I was out one night. And they told me that there is this rave tomorrow and that I should go to it. So I was like, fuck yeah, I'll go to it. I gave them my phone. They showed me where to buy the ticket. I bought it on the spot. And they actually told me that they were going to invite me to their pregame. And then the next day came around and they were like, the pregame's full. Kind of a dickhead move. But I was like, fuck, I'm going anyway. I don't care. I don't know anybody there, but I'm still going to show up. I'm still going to be the best version of myself. I'm not going to lie. I was a little nervous because I didn't know what type of environment I was going into. I didn't know what to expect. It was called Project Underground. I was like, what the fuck is this underground shit? Like, I don't fucking know what I'm getting into. So I was like, all right, whatever. We're just going to show up. I had a backup plan. If it didn't go well, I was going to leave by 1:30, go see this girl I'd already been getting with. And that was my plan. But it ended up being one of the most fun nights of my life because I pushed my comfort zone once again to try something new. And then when I was there, I talked to at least 50 people, guys and girls. I was honestly the most charming version of myself. There's not been many times when I've been that charming. I was passing out compliments left and right. I was really just trying out all the things I've read from books and it was working so well and I was feeling so good and I thrived off that energy and I had like the perfect balance of drinks and I was really just the best version of myself. I met so many people that night and I had so much fun. I still ended up going back to that girl's house, but it was just after a successful night. So that was really awesome. And it was because I pushed my comfort zone and tried something new. And that's where you can meet new people. And once again, this can be anything. It doesn't have to be nightlife or parties or braves. You can try rock climbing. There's going to be so many fun, nice people there. I was in Florida talking to people at rock climbing. You can try run club. You can try anything. There's so many different things you can do, but you have to try new things. And this is where you'll meet new people. And once again, having confidence will allow you to go into these new experiences, meeting new people with just such certainty in who you are as an individual. It will change the way that you communicate when you have confidence. You'll just be the best version of yourself. You'll be magnetic. You'll be radiant. So if you want to have that, I built the confidence transformation guide for you. It's completely for free. It's the first link in the description below.